Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Keep Talking, Cupital's dedicated podcast for the B2B industry. So, this is a new thing we're doing, especially with everything going on. We're really excited to get closer to our audience and get this started. So, today we have Mathew here, our very own business development manager here in the Philippines.
Yes, I am so excited to be the very first guest of Keep Talking. It's
Yeah.
an honor. We've been talking about this project for the longest time because we wanted to explain like how SEO works and just how we in general help the industry
Yeah, it's been very hard getting it into tiny,
into
short
tiny
form
short term reels. And here I get to express myself as naturally as
yeah.
possible. But what's nice about it is we've done so many great things here in the Philippines, right? Because Keepital is a Singaporean company
Yeah.
that's expanded across multiple nations across Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
We've done great things in the Philippines in terms of the partnerships, in terms of the clients that we have acquired, right? We are really helping the industrial B2B get the visibility that they need.
Yeah, we're really on track here right now.
Exactly.
Right, so let's get this started.
Yes.
So a statistic that's been shaking up the B2B industry is 71% of buyers usually start with a Google search now. And then when they begin their journey searching for this supplier, once they've already picked one, already 60% is done in their journey. So what makes you what goes on in this 60%? Why is 60% already done when they pick the supplier?
I think 60% of the deal is already done once they pick a supplier, just because they've done their research, they've done the negotiations, they've had a good time with the supplier. Right? Already. Yeah. And when it comes to Google search, the 60% is actually actuated there. Right?
So
When
the
somebody
60%
clicks
in there.
and they decide that this is the supplier, they're not going to leave the browser anymore. They're not going to leave and jump to the next supplier. What they'll actually do is stick to it, learn more about the product, and if they're a good fit, if they trust, if they're really the best vendor out there.
Okay.
Right? So 60% of the deal is done because of pure visibility.
Okay. So, but don't most suppliers see constraint in the sense of like stock, logistics? You're telling me that constraint is now tied to visibility.
Yes, the constraint is also tied to visibility because of how just how a warehouse works. An inventory of a warehouse is often an earmarker of how well a business is doing, right? If it sells out fast, the inventory turnover is quick, then the business is doing well.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
for
Of course.
example, your inventory is not moving as fast, then it shows that your business is not doing
Yeah.
as good,
Yeah.
right? And so an earmarker for that would be your visibility, right? So if your visibility is not doing as well and
course.
your stocks are not moving, then there's a
Obviously,
connection. There's
people
obviously a
aren't seeing
connection.
you.
Exactly. So people aren't seeing you. So that is your problem. You're not putting your product out there. You're not putting your service out there. So there is no movement in terms of your business. So think about how the buyer journey actually starts, right? Where a procurement officer or purchaser would do their research on Google, and from Google would pick the selected, you know, relevant or potential suppliers or vendors for them,
Yeah.
and from there select to
What
choose
fits them.
what fits them, right?
Yeah.
So your bottleneck now isn't really your warehouse, it's about your discoverability. So let's fix your search bar, because fixing your search bar means fixing your keywords and aligning with buyer intent.
Okay, so buyer intent, that's how they should get started in this visibility journey.
Yes, exactly. So buyer intent, what does that actually mean? Right, you have to put yourselves in the shoes of how your buyer thinks.
Okay.
Right, so what is their intention? Right? If I'm going to search for an HVAC contractor, what would I search for?
All right. So
Right.
usually it's like the model or like the item itself already.
Exactly. So is it actually the name brand of the contractor? Not really. Maybe there's some cases where I will search for the company that provides the service of HVAC, but rather I would just search HVAC contractor near me.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
These are
especially.
keywords that the purchasers would use because that's their intention, to find what's near them. Right? So
Yeah.
now how do we then craft keywords that are full of intent of the customer and
Okay.
can actually support the niche or the target searches that your purchasers would search, right?
Okay. So like specificity is a big part of this now.
Exactly. It's not about brand name, brand recognition only, not
Yeah.
only about the technical jargon, but really getting into the brains of our purchasers, right? Is it an adjective, or is it like a
So like
location?
the best or like
The best,
leading.
affordable,
Oh yeah.
leading, right? Or location, like contractor near me,
Yeah,
contractor
here in
Manila,
Manila, yeah.
right? So these are different keywords that we can use because success comes from aligning your content with the purchaser's actions and intent. Finding the relevance, finding the local, and finding the specific keywords.
All right. So that's actually very right. So when they're able to start this journey, they're being found, it already so happens that they're able to pull in people from everywhere anytime. So um that's a really important thing, especially with B2B buyers, right?
Exactly, because B2B buyers are one of the most, time conscious,
Oh yeah,
the one
yeah,
with the
yeah.
most constraint with budgets. They're very specific of what they want,
They
and
already know what they
they
want.
already know what they want. It's just that you have to be visible.
Mm-mm.
So your page has to be visible 24/7. That's a no brainer, right? So anytime that they want to do the research, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
during office hours or maybe they have a spark of an idea after work hours, like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., they
Mm.
have the information about you anytime.
Yeah, they're able to contact you.
Exactly. So it's placing your digital catalog up for the public to see at any given time,
Yeah.
right? So that's very important for a B2B buyer because if you have your brochure not visible, then you lose out on that customer
Yeah, very very quickly.
very quickly. So apart from that, I would see when I do a Google search 2013 brochure, 2015
Oh my
brochure.
god, yeah.
There are often times where there are outdated info, prices are not changed, and it's just a PDF. Right? There's no dynamic aspect to it.
Usually when you see an outdated brochure, you're like, you skip it already.
Exactly, because why would I see?
Why would
Why
you
would I
entertain it?
entertain it? Because the best possible thing I can do is look for what's relevant and what's available to me, right?
Exactly.
So relevant because it's the most updated, and time wise it's the most
Yeah, it's
accessible.
already there for you.
Yeah, so basically it's how we have our digital brochures in Keepital as our
Mm,
mini site, right? Have I explained the
yeah.
mini site concept to you? It's basically your digital showroom of your products or services from your company.
Yeah.
So anytime, anywhere, your customers can click and add your products or their
A request a
services
quote.
and request a code. So it's that simple.
Yeah. Okay. So, like in relation to information, that's really a big pain point, a big point of friction for the suppliers and buyers, especially since, yeah, as you mentioned, if you find it already outdated, why would you entertain it? Especially as one that's very constricted with time. So, what are common friction points that buyers and suppliers should look out for in their
Common
websites?
friction points, there are several, right?
Mm.
We in the industry share the same problems, and one of it, the first thing that comes to mind is actually when I'm in an expo and I get a calling card, and when I call that number, sometimes it's outdated, the digit is
Oh, it's
wrong,
wrong.
or they don't have a Viber number. It's so hard to get the accessibility to the right person,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it's very frustrating for a customer that, okay, I've decided that
I want to buy from this guy.
supplier that I'm going for.
Yeah,
This is the supplier that has the right equipment.
the right
He
fit
can
for
give
my.
it to me in 1 to 3 days. But when I want to contact them, it's actually outdated or
So
it's not
wala na.
accurate, right? So it's like throwing it away. I'm missing it entirely.
Yeah.
So, the digital marketplace is not just simply about how easy it is to find you,
Mm-hmm.
but also how frictionless your transaction is going to be. Because friction is the deal killer. Or let me repeat it again. Friction really is the deal killer. If your site is hard to use, you're handing money to your competitor. That's a
That's so
given fact.
true.
That is a given fact.
Yeah. So in relation to that, does it really matter where a supplier shows up?
Well, come to think of it, yes. Because the first thing that comes to mind again would be if I'm selling power tools and I put it in a wet market, Do you think it will sell well?
Of course not.
Of course not, because the people surrounding me or the vendors surrounding me are selling fish, selling
Yeah.
fresh produce, vegetables, right?
So it's not
Somebody that
really
will
your
go to the
market.
wet market is not looking to buy
Power
a power
tools.
tool,
Yeah.
right? As compared if I put it to Keep It All or if I put it to a hardware store, then people are actually going to the site or going to the
So
hardware
like there's
store
more chances of being
because they're looking
discovered.
for construction equipment, and maybe they're not really specifically looking for a power tool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's in relation to what I'm
Yeah.
selling. So putting yourself around people that are similar to you
Mm-hmm,
can
mm-hmm.
actually be very beneficial for visibility.
Yeah. Okay. So in relation to where you're being found, you mentioned how Capital is a right place for industrial tools. So you'd say that its 13-year history plays a very big part in this.
Precisely. Keep It All as a marketplace has been a trusted, site where you can search for any product, any service in the industrial space,
Mm.
right? So long as we have an active client that is selling, right? But
Of course.
generally, it's because your marketplace is very important because this is where your buyers are looking for
Mm-mm.
you or where you think your buyers should see you. So trust is a very, very valuable,
Of course,
currency now
especially
in
in a digital
2026.
space.
Exactly. So, when it comes to B2B transactions, these are high stakes, these are high
Value.
value. So you want to be in a place of trust. And
Mm.
Keep It All can provide you that because Keep It All as a platform has existed for over 13 years. We have partnerships with the leading trade show organizers
Yeah.
in the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia,
Yeah.
all across the Southeast Asian region, right? And beyond that, we actually have a verification system where
No.
all our clients, all of our suppliers in keepital.com are actually verified businesses. They have to have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
registered business number to be able to be visible on Keep It All. So when you transact or when you find a supplier on Keep It All, these clients or these vendors are of people of trust that you can buy from.
All right. So this translates very well with the clients that you get. So
Exactly.
how would it translate though for someone that's very new to the space, like very new to the digital space in general?
You know, if we're talking about somebody who's very new to the digital space and we
Yeah.
go back to the concept of visibility, there's a thing that we call domain authority.
Mm-hmm.
So domain authority is the score that Google uses to rank your website against others. So if
Okay.
my score is 70 and you're ranked at 50,
Oh,
who
of
will
course.
Google rank better?
Favorite.
70 will rank high.
Yeah.
But there's also a thing about relevance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a wet market ranked at 70 and I have a construction site that is ranked at 70 and I put a fish in the construction site
Of
ranked at
course it
70,
will.
Google will not recognize the fish in the
Yeah.
construction industry. So there has to be a match. And Google and Keep It All has been working with our partners to make sure that this is the premier, the leading industrial B2B marketplace where all the products and services can cater to the needs of the industry,
All right.
right? So generally, Google trusts us. Google recognizes our domain authority. Google recognizes that any industrial product, any industrial service that we place here can be placed at the top. And that's why we have been consistent in placing products on the front page of Google.
Mm-hmm. So in relation to the main authority, it really works well with um, showing up on top. Because that's your core. That's really your core philosophy of being
Exactly,
visible.
visibility, right? We give the visibility to those people that need it the most, right? And
You've
the
got.
concept of like the main authority isn't really easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's We can talk about hours on how we are ranking high on
Yeah, yeah,
Google,
yeah.
but the key aspect here is that the domain authority is not easy to achieve by
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Of course.
right? And you don't have to do it overnight, right? Because people want instant results, but how,
Of course.
right?
SEO is really a long game.
Exactly. It's a long game. And so you can ask people that already have been doing it for 13 years.
Years.
We have the industry experience.
Yeah.
Because of our domain authority, you can simply ride on it. You don't have to do it overnight. You don't have to do it by yourself. And, within a year,
We
your
got
businesses
you.
is already on the first page of Google. Right?
Yeah, we got you
Yeah.
already.
So you focus on the sale and we focus on giving you visibility.
Yeah. All right. So that's actually the before we wrap up, real talking to the audience. If someone Googled you in your exact industry, would they find you? And for you, what's a gut check a supplier can do to be able to like check where they are in their journey for digital visibility?
Definitely in terms of our customers, they have so many products, so many
Mm-hmm.
services of caliber, right? They are
Of
able to
course.
sell it. It's really nice things that the industry would use. So in terms of that, you can actually just build the keyword, be visible, and Keepital actually has a free tool for that for
Oh
you to build
wow.
on,
Yeah.
right? So we give you that opportunity through
Okay.
Keepital's tool because our mission really is for the industrial SME to be visible.
All right. So for the supplier that's hearing this, that sees themselves in that business as like really good product but bad visibility, what's the first move they should do with Keep It All?
Stop being the industry's best kept secret, right? Let us,
Yeah.
expose you to the public. Let us bring you the visibility that you need so that you are able to get the sales, get the business moving. So growth in 2026 is a result of expanded visibility, not just expanded operations, right?
Yeah. So that's your call to now maximize your visibility with Keep It On. So thank you very much for being here with us today. It's been a very good conversation. So stay tuned for more updates and join us in the next episodes of Keep Talking.